Renegades of POP. I'm RJ.
I'm Andrea.
And before we get on to our first topic, be sure to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, click the little bell, that way you get updates on when we upload. Join us on the Facebook group. Follow us on Instagram. We're fun people.
Sometimes.
Anyways, guys, so topic number one, to continue with this spooky season, I want to talk about spooky video games. Jeez, I know. Anyways, no, but look, I want to talk about like horror video games and just that genre of games, because it's just something that I didn't get into until I was older. And really, I'm just going to start it off. The one that got me, actually started back into just video games in general. Alan Wake. Exclusively on the Xbox 360 at the time. Holy shit. It is like just a Stephen King novel, but as a video game. And it storytelling wise blew my mind. It's even divided into 6 chapters. That's how it's actually in the game. And it is just so fucking good. And it uses you get a gun, but the gun doesn't really do anything. You can shoot them and then knock them back, but what actually kills them is light. And so you have a flashlight, and it does the whole battery thing. Mm-hmm. So it's so fucking stressful, especially if you don't have an inventory built up at the beginning. You don't, because you don't know what the fuck's going on. But it is so good, and I love it's noir-ish with the narrative, because it's literally Alan Wake talking over it. Mm-hmm. And it also kind of tackles mental health, because part of it, for a while there, you start thinking oh, this is all in his fucking head, and he's just doing this to cope with his reality of his girlfriend leaving him or something.
Sam.
Which is not the case. It's not the case. It turns out to be real. Spoiler alert. But holy shit, that game literally changed my life as far as gaming is concerned. I'm really passionate about Alan Wake. It's Remedy Games did such a fan-fucking-tastic job. Side note, Remedy Games also came out with the original Max Payne, in case you're wondering their pedigree. Oh. So they're very good with that noir. Never played that. Anyways, so that's one of my favorite horror genre video games of all time. Do you have one?
I enjoy playing a little Bioshock.
Yeah.
I just love the aesthetic. I haven't played any of the DLCs or what is it, Infinite? Mm-hmm. Never played that one, but I had the first 2, and
tonally it's very, very different.
No, I've heard that, and I want to just finish the whole thing and just do the whole thing and do that, but I just never had the time.
The Infinite actually might be a little more stressful for you now, because it really tackles race.
Well,
it really tackles race.
It's going to be triggering.
Yeah, I would argue it would be triggering, because it really does tackle race, because
there's no black people in it.
No, there is, but they're basically the reason why he comes up with the place in the sky is because after the Civil War, they're oh no, we're out, because we don't necessarily agree that the slaves are free.
Oh, well, that's fucked up. Well, see, then that might be a little bit something different for
but
me.
No, it's because that's, and then you end up joining the rebellion to try to overthrow that government, and that's kind of what it is. But it does tackle race a lot.
I mean, well, that makes sense. There's no black people in Bioshock, so I never put 2 and 2 together, just because that's just how most things are, how most things have always been. Not that it's right, but you get to a point where you don't think anything about it. Yeah. But, it was always, a fun game to play. I was always, scared as hell to play.
It's a very stressful game.
It can be, but it's
especially
also really...
at the beginning, the first time you run into, a fucking Big Daddy, you're Oh shit! How the fuck am I gonna do this?
Well, because you
and
have
question
no
for you.
defenses.
And question for you.
Okay.
Were you of the mindset of, oh, I'm gonna like suck the little sisters completely dry, or just take a little bit?
No, I always set them free.
Okay.
Because I figured the payoff for me setting them free will probably be better than me using them.
Yeah, no, there is a different ending.
No, I figured. I mean, I knew there'd be multiple endings for whatever decision you decided. That's redundant. Whatever choice
you made.
Whatever choice I made, there would be a different outcome.
Yeah.
And so I chose to do the right thing first, just because that's who I am.
That's just who I am.
That's who I is. Another mention, I've never played this game, but I always would watch my brother play Silent Hill, like the Silent Hill games.
That's a classic.
And that was always really like, I mean, I enjoy watching from afar. And there used to be like this Facebook channel, these two dudes who used to like play through horror games. Like I think they did like the Evil Within and the other one? What's the one with the journalist guy? Outlast. And I watched them go because they would just have like witty commentary while they were playing the games. Like one of the friends would be playing it, and I enjoy watching it because I don't have the discipline to sit and play a game for hours. Like I get really bored easily. So if like I hit like a puzzle that I can't get through or whatever, I'm just like, fuck it. Like, I have to be really like, I'm surprised I played Bioshock for as long as I did. Because like I get bored really easily, and that's why me in video games, like unless it's like a fighter or something or a side scroller, like that's not true. I take that back. Even side scrollers, like I get bored really easily.
Well, those tend to be repetitive. Just shout out real quick. I'm a huge fan of Bioshock, and I'm gonna shoehorn this in. For those of you who don't know, this is a guitar pedal. It's an effect pedal built by my buddy and co-host from my other podcast, Just Surprise Me, Joe from Like My Pedals. Can't really see it. Let's see if it focuses. There we go. It's a Bioshock art. I'll just probably end up putting like an overlay. But fucking really, really like that series. I actually prefer Infinite because I like the game mechanics of the like... You get to like loop around on like that thing and like zoom around. It's fucking cool.
I have another.
Even though it's not as like horror.
Yeah.
Because basically the difference is like you arrive there. I forget the name of the city. It's not Rapture. It's a different thing.
Isn't it like Columbia or something?
Yeah, New Columbia or something like that. And you arrive there and like everything's fine. Like you arrive there and nothing, like it's like while you're there shit starts going awry and like people are starting to like rebel and things like that.
I have another honorable mentions. Castlevania. What's the one I played? Symphony of the Night. Fun game. Got bored.
Is it though?
Is it though? Oh my god!
I strongly remember being on like FaceTime with you and you just getting so fucking pissed off because you couldn't move on to the next thing because you either kept dying or you didn't know where to fucking go.
Well, no, because it's like I had to keep going back and forth places. And
that's
like,
the point of a Metrovania game. It literally is the point. That is the game mechanic itself.
That's what I'm saying. Like I enjoy games to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go back and forth. Like, I'm not going back and forth with you. Like, you know what I mean? And it just gets to a point where I'm just like, I don't have the time to deal with this bullshit. So I am going to move on. Like, you know what I mean? And I'd rather watch somebody play video games than me actually do it. Like, I find it more interesting to just watch people play games.
So I will say, I think the horror genre specifically lends to watching people game a lot better than most other games.
Because I feel like they're more cinematic than most games.
Well, yeah, they rely heavily on the narrative, and it's still like suspenseful because like you're watching somebody make terrible decisions, just like in a horror movie, watching somebody making terrible decisions. Like, I never played it myself. I never felt the need, but like I would watch everybody's fucking playthrough of PT when that shit was live. Like, like. Holy, oh my God. Talk about what that game would have been.
I mean, it could have been really fun, and we'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Yeah, I know.
You got that other game. What is it called with the babies, the floating babies? Like,
I forget now.
I don't even know.
Fucking, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Kojima, like, I'm sorry. Some shit I don't get by you. Like, I've never been a Metal Gear fan either, so like I don't give a fuck. But no, his take on Silent Hill could have been really good. Really good. Yeah. Let's talk about another game that's often compared to Silent Hill, even though I think it came out. I know it came out before, but Resident Evil. Did you
People compare those?
Yeah, like when you think of like late 90s, like PlayStation 1 horror games, you got Silent Hill and you got fucking Resident Evil.
Oh.
Those are the franchises of that generation.
I guess like I always enjoyed watching Resident Evil 2, like the game, but like I also feel like watching Silent Hill was a lot more fun. But because like Resident Evil always made me like hella nervous, like because the gameplay, I don't like how like
the tank controls.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like because like the same reason why I couldn't get into Final Fantasy. Like I just like I hate that. Like I don't like it. Like I don't like that kind of like, oh, you pick this thing and then like, you know.
Well, Resident Evil's not really like that. It's just clumsy.
I guess
because they were still trying to figure out how to do 3D controls. Like that's the biggest thing.
And like I don't know.
That's why I think the most palatable and arguably a lot of people's favorite for that reason is Resident Evil 4, because that's when it started becoming more of a modern shooter.
Yeah.
And shout out to that game, because as I've stated on this podcast before, Resident Evil 4 is why I got a GameCube. It's fucking great.
I would have never believed that. Like, I would have never bought a GameCube thinking I could play a Resident Evil game.
That's how they marketed.
That's crazy.
How they marketed it at the time.
I never knew, like, I didn't know. Like, I mean, playing a GameCube, I always, like, you know, Star Fox, like, you know, the normal, like, you know, Nintendo games or whatever. Like, you know, but, yeah. I did try playing Resident Evil 4, and it was a lot easier for me to kind of get into, because it was easier to play.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like, yeah.
Yeah. So, real quick, not a horror game. However, it is dark, and it is actually pretty dark for Nintendo. Zelda Majora's Mask. That's a dark-ass game.
Is it?
Yeah, so, like, here's the premise. The premise is you have 24 hours to save the world from the moon crashing into Hyrule.
I just know that game because everybody gets the little
repeats,
mask tattooed on them.
Yeah, and it repeats, but it's a very stressful game if you don't know what to do because you're on borrowed time. And the reason why they did that, it was like a game design because they had to come up. Basically, it was like a glorified expansion. They just took the assets from what was the previous game? Just the Zelda. I think it's Twilight Princess. Nah, I don't know. I don't know my Zeldas all too well. But anyways, point being is, yeah, they put that game loop in there to make it so they didn't have to like do this huge story. They just, because they had a certain deadline to come out with the sequel.
Yeah.
But it worked out very well, and it's what adds to the suspense of that.
You know what they say, kids? You know, laziness will get you somewhere.
Laziness. Well, it's not laziness. It's more like, oh, we got this hit game, and Nintendo's like, come out with another one like now.
So it's like more procrastination, I guess?
No, it's not procrastination. It's more of like, hey, sometimes deadlines can stoke creativity, even though like you shouldn't do that. Like you shouldn't like grind.
I don't think I could create that way.
No, yeah, it is. But that's why they had that time to finish that game, and so that's the game loop that they came up with to fucking to meet that deadline of releasing the game. Anyways, I'm gonna talk about some from like the 360 era that you may not be familiar with. You might be familiar with as far as like the name of the game, but you probably haven't played them. Because I'm a huge fan of sci-fi. And this is totally horror. Fucking Dead Space. 1 and 2.
See, I thought you were going to bring up Half-Life.
Shit. Holy shit. Dead Space is fucking great. That is a terrifying, very stressful game. I've heard that. Their one's more like an action game, so like it's not as bad. but the first two are fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I remember you telling me to play those, and I just
because it would be, honest to goodness, it would be right up your alley as far as like the
gameplay.
The gameplay. Well, the gameplay is pretty good. It's your classic modern shooter, but it's just the barrage of enemies that like you got to be intentional with every shot that you make, because like you can't just like headshot and they're down. They're like, no, they'll still keep going. So like the best thing to do is like on certain ones is like to take out the limbs, or else they'll fucking keep coming after you. They'll just adjust on like 2 limbs and come after you instead of the 4 that they're on. So like you have to like be intentional with what you like shoot at.
Yeah.
Very good. Pretty good story. Like it's honestly the closest thing to like Event Horizon, but the video game. Like it really is.
All
and
right.
I think you'd really like it. Let's see. I tried playing The Evil Within. I couldn't get into it.
Okay. I mean, it looked like, for me watching it, I don't think I could have gotten into it either. Like, I could watch it, but I'm like, this looks hella dumb. Like,
yeah,
it's interesting,
cheese.
but like hella dumb. But like, I really want to play Outlast. Like, it looks super stressful and super hard.
Yeah.
And like, it just looks like a fun time. Like, it looks like a really fun time.
Let's wind it back. I have not played this game, even though it was critically praised, and I just never got around to it because we didn't really own the console that could play it at the time in the house. The new Resident Evil 7,
like the new one that came out.
The new one that's like takes place in like the South, like it takes place in like Louisiana, like that. And trying to play that in PlayStation VR, which you can, because remember that was one of the games.
I remember
like,
what people had to say about that.
It was really good. It's got great reviews.
Was it well liked?
Very, very.
Anyway, if you guys have any recommendations,
leave them in the comments.
Below. Like,
because hashtag she doesn't know this, but we're gonna get some consoles up in this mother trucker.
Do you know how many consoles we've been through, like bought and sold or traded
Well,
or whatever?
It's because I like music gear too, but no, like. The new generation's coming out. I know you're a PlayStation girl, but they're coming, and you may not know this, but they're coming out with the Xbox Series S, and it's like gonna play all the new games, but it's like the price of a Nintendo Switch. So it's very affordable.
All right.
So, and they have a Game Pass to where you just get access to hundreds and hundreds of games. Anyways, that's beside the point. What's another, like... Do you have any other any other games that, like, I'm sure there's a ton and everyone's screaming at us. But do you have any, like, other ones that you haven't played but you would like to play?
That ones that we haven't mentioned? Not at all.
Really?
Not any horror ones. Like, I feel like the mainstream ones I've wanted to play or have any interest in, we've named.
Oh, I do want to get, like, it's probably not good anymore. But the idea of that Friday the 13th game, I don't know if you ever saw that. It was pretty interesting. It's like, it's a multiplayer game. Mm-hmm. And either you're Jason or you're...
A camper. And
you have to, like...
Was that ever released?
Yes, it was. And so, like either you have to track these people down and, like, kill them, or you have to, like, try to escape from him.
I felt like it'd be more fun to kill people.
But it'd be more stressful to be the victim, potential victim.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, most of us are usually...
Oh, man, hold on.
Oh, Lord.
I'm using my phone to record.
Here.
Let me see your phone. I gotta remember, it's a PlayStation exclusive. It's got a fucking killer clown in it, but it was, like, on the campground. It was like a choose your own adventure kind of thing. So you would choose the decisions for them. Hold on, guys. And they came out with this shitty like PSVR. Until Dawn. Until Dawn is like supposed to be really, really good.
I think I've heard of that. That's the one where you have to last until the daylight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like in the woods. I don't know if it had anything to do with a clown, did it?
Yeah, no, like the PSVR one.
I've heard that game is pretty fun.
Until Dawn, yeah.
I've heard
the spinoff, the PSVR, does have to do with clowns. It's fucking stupid. Don't play that. Also, this actually just came up and made me think of another one. And you haven't played this, but it's really good. Fucking Alien Isolation. Holy shit. That is a stressful, fucking great game. Goes on for a little bit too long. I feel like because it's like a 20-hour game, I feel like if it was like half that, it would be better because there's a little bit too much filler. Mm-hmm. But oh my God. Like you're hiding in like lockers trying not to get caught by this thing. And like you have like a breath meter and like it's pretty intelligent to where like it can find you. It's fucking good. Alien Isolation. Basically, you're just trying to get away from the fucking xenomorph.
I mean, I've heard of that one too. I've heard that's a pretty good game, but like I said, I can stay. My attention span will stay for so long. I can't believe I played BioShock as long as I did.
Fair enough. I'm just like seeing what else they have here. Oh yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. It does have a fucking clown. That's what I was getting confused with. Anyways, fuck that game. Resident Evil Revelations. Another good Resident Evil game if you like the original games. Amnesia, fucking good. That's another good one. And then there's this other game that I'm trying to think of. It's probably not going to come up and I won't fucking remember. Anyways, that being said, I don't want to fucking go on too long here. Sorry, guys. Got a little distracted. Yeah. Again, leave us your favorite horror games down below. Make some suggestions and let us know. You know, I wouldn't be opposed to playing a few. Hell, if you want to see us play on camera, you let us know. If you know you want to see us stream.
Oh my God. And I'm sure it would be like hella funny because like I'm just like I would probably be freaking out the whole time.
She's a drama queen.
To a degree.
I mean, I'm probably worse, but hey. All right, next topic.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying our content, make sure you give us a like and subscribe. Come and join our community and join our Facebook or Instagram. Leave us some comments below. Be into it, you know?
Yeah, and we appreciate you. I just want to say that too. We love all of you. Thank you so much. Anyways, topic number 2. Tell me.
Topic number 2. So I want to talk about like bands you were like embarrassed to like that you don't give a shit about now. Like, I mean, you care about them, but you don't care about what other people think about it.
Okay, so guilty pleasures that you're unabashedly don't care that they're guilty pleasures.
Like when you were like whatever, like people, you were embarrassed to tell people you like them.
I'm gonna start this one off, and anybody who knows me fucking knows this. The motherfucking LIMP Biscuit, Limp Biscuit, Fred Durst, come on, Red Hat, let's do it. Jacksonville, Florida, one of the few things that came out of fucking Florida that I actually enjoy.
Are they really from Florida? That makes a lot of sense.
Yes, they are.
That makes
They're
a
from fucking
lot
Jacksonville,
of sense.
Baby. Or at least Fred Durst is. I don't know about
Charlemagne the God always says the craziest people are from Florida and the Bronx.
Shout out to Charlemagne.
Charlemagne the God. Florida and the Bronx.
I don't doubt it. My co-host is from Florida and he's fucking insane. Anyways, other podcasts just surprised me. Check them out. But yes, Limp Bizkit. Holy shit! Like I don't like talking about it to everybody. But I really do enjoy them. Like I like me some Limp Bizkit. I'm sorry. Like they got some fucking bangers, okay? Like okay, let's start off with $3 bill, y'all. I'm just saying. $3 bill.
Gosh.
$3 bill, y'all. You know, counterfeit, that's a hard hitter. You know, like everybody was mind blown by their cover of Faith.
Who?
Everybody. They were like at the time everyone was like, "Oh man, you hear that fucking weird ass cover by that one band? They fucking covered, you know? They covered Faith. It's
the only reason I know who Limp Bizkit is because like I used to be like obsessed with watching like MTV Spring Breaks, and like they would always be like on like one of those things like.
Oh yeah, no, Fred Durst was like huge. Come on, everyone was like, "Oh man, he's dating Britney."
Was he?
Oh.
I didn't know that. See, I was too young to give a shit. Like, I remember watching, like, Spring Break.
You're the same age as me, and I give a shit.
Well, that's because I was also a lot more sheltered than you were. Like, I wasn't allowed to watch certain stuff and do certain things, listen to certain kinds of music.
Another topic. Anyways.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit. Holy shit. So, yeah, $3 bill. Then everybody's, favorite... Actually, I believe Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water came after Significant Other. But, dude, his collabs are fucking good. Like, oh my god, they're fucking good. Method Man, Redman, fucking, like, on Significant Other, holy shit. Snoop Dogg, DMX, rolling the remix? Come on.
What?
Wait, I don't think Snoop Dogg, but DMX is on there.
That's
on the
shocking.
They have solid... Like, okay, one of my favorite songs, shout out to Scott Weiland. They do a song with Scott Weiland of Stone Temple Pilots.
He's dead.
He dead, he gone.
Rest in peace.
I heard not. So Will, on Just Surprise Me, my co-host, he was telling me like how his ex-wife did a like heart-wrenching letter after he died, which was like basically just talking so much shit about him. And she literally ends it with, "Hey, my family's fine. We don't have to work another day in our lives. We'll be good." Oh,
his wife, Scott Weiland's wife? Yeah, I thought you were talking about Will's wife.
No. Sorry.
Why would Will's wife?
No, Scott. Scott Weiland's wife.
Well, and she had to deal with his abusive behavior and his drug addiction.
So basically she ends the letter with, "Hey, don't spend your money on his music. Like, we're fine. Fucking go take your kid to a fucking ball game because he never did." like basically like straight up like he was a fucking deadbeat and y'all need to fucking remember that.
I mean, I don't doubt it.
He's a fucking drug addict piece of shit. Anyways, that's beyond the point. Limp Bizkit, yes.
All right.
Yes. Always does great collabs.
I have a few because like growing up, I mean the height of my musical, like, I mean, when I discovered music, it was at the height of the boy band, girl band, like, craze, like Backstreet Boys, Spice Girls, NSYNC, even though...
First concert ever.
Whatever.
That was mine.
So I was always, like, super embarrassed. Like, I guess when I got more into, like, being a teenager, that I was hella embarrassed. Like, people would go through my iPod and be like, "Oh, there's fucking, Backstreet Boys on here."
Yeah, we're trying to be all punk rock and, like
everybody's listening to like the Addicts and like Crass and stuff, and I got fucking boy bands on my iPod, like super duper embarrassing. Yeah. That and Chevelle, like I've always really loved Chevelle, and they're a great band, but I was always like hella embarrassed to like them, just because of our fanfare,
Yeah, so like growing up, we grew up in like a very punk scene, like. If you listen to the wrong kind of music, you will get punched in the face kind of punk. Like, that kind of punk. Like, that was our friends. Our group of friends.
Like, they play the name game with you. You didn't know a fucking bunch of songs from a certain band. You were a fucking poser, and you deserved to get your ass kicked.
It's kind of like in High Fidelity, like Jack Black's character, except for Jack Black doesn't assault them. Like, no, our friends would straight up assault you if you listened to the wrong kind of music.
Yeah. Or if
I'm
you
not
were
friends with many of them anymore. Yeah, so like if you didn't listen to like Global Threat, like
or whatever, like it was just like it was a different time. Or like rap. Like so, I was in like this gap between punk kids and then kids that listen to only rap and stuff like that. And so I was kind of in the middle, and like I had to go through this like I feel like a lot of like alt girls of color, black girls that are alternative have to deal with, where you don't have a place to belong, and so you like what you like, and neither one of them wants to accept you. Yeah. Because you're not cool enough for this group, and you're not cool enough for that group. So like you kind of just like fell in the middle, and you didn't really have a place to belong. And now that I'm a grown up, I don't give a shit. Like I like what I like, and I don't give a fuck.
But I also think the whole like what you like thing it goes to both of our upbringings. In your case being your stepdad, and my case being my aunt, like just how eclectic their taste is in music.
Yeah.
I was exposed to a lot of different stuff. It didn't matter the genre. Mm-hmm. It was just expansive, like different amount of stuff to where it made me want to explore myself. Yeah. And so I think, you know, that's why I'm okay with liking boy bands. I like boy bands.
Yeah, no, because
growing up, I was an NSYNC kid. But as an adult, I'm much more of a Backstreet kind of person.
Well, because they're a better band.
They
have better songs, and you know, whatever. They were the blueprint before NSYNC. They were the blueprint for NSYNC. So you know, they have a little bit more clout.
I mean,
and I just don't like Justin Timberlake. I never liked Justin Timberlake. I'm Team Shazay.
I didn't know this.
Anyway, I never liked Justin Timberlake, and I was really, really surprised for him to be the breakout star of NSYNC. Because I'm like, JC Chasez is always one doing the solos. He's a better singer. So I always assumed that he was going to be the breakout star. And I was always Team Chasez.
Fair enough. I'm trying to think of like another band.
Remember that friend you had that was like super into Motorhead? Like, I just remember him talking about Motorhead like all the time. He had blonde hair and we used to walk with him at PE. I don't remember his name. I don't remember anybody.
Brian.
We went to high school with.
I think it was his name was Brian. Brian like Gillen or something like that.
Don't put him on blast like that.
I know that's not his last name. It's just Brian something. I actually was in a band with him at one point in time.
I couldn't play no instrument. I remember us being like, we were like 14 or 15 and asking him to play Purple Haze for me, or it was like Purple Haze or like.
She's referring to me, not Brian.
No, yeah, referring to him. I asked him to play like Purple Haze or like Stairway to Heaven or something lame like that, and like he's just like, he couldn't do it.
Yeah, I was just learning. Like, I literally had just started playing guitar that year, so fuck off. I can play it now, you son of a bitch. Like, golly. But no, I really... Oh, I would say Metallica is one of those bands that
you were ashamed to like?
Yeah. Yeah,
I feel like I'm more ashamed to like them now.
Well, I'm more ashamed. I don't like them now, but like I was ashamed then because I was one of the few people who actually did like Saint Anger. At the time, it's really a bad album. Like, it's a really bad album, but at the time, I liked it.
You know another one, and people Slipknot. Fucking hated it. I used to be embarrassed to like Slipknot, but just Corey Taylor, another babe.
Really?
I do. I think Corey Taylor is adorable.
Adorable?
I do. I think he's adorable. And I just think of this time where he was talking about thinking that like Tina Turner was like the hottest person like when he was like a little kid. And I'm like, oh, hey now.
Like some chocolate?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I have a shot.
Yeah, Metallica was definitely on that list. Okay. I don't give a fuck what anybody says because they're multi-platinum artists. Okay? And I didn't get to go see them, but I did buy tickets. I just never got to see them because the person I was going with fucking bailed. Creed. I don't really listen to Creed now, but once upon a time I really, really did and did not give a shit.
No, I never thought Creed was one of those bands that to be embarrassed about growing up because I thought they were cool. Like, I remember, like, I think I was like, I want to say it was like 8 or 9. My mom bought me a Creed album and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever, not knowing that they were lame. Like, you know what I mean? But I didn't feel like they got lame until I was older. And then it was like, oh, I'm so like, you know, ashamed to go see Creed or like Creed. Like, you know what I mean?
I really like Creed, the album that has like bullets on it. It's like track 1. It's really good. It's so good. That's a good song. Now here's a band that I'm ashamed, like this is kind of the opposite. I'm ashamed that I ever liked this band, and I really liked this band at the time.
You're ashamed that you like them now?
I'm ashamed that I liked them then.
Okay.
Like, it's like a band I don't fucking listen to anymore, but holy shit, it was like super influential. Fucking Seether.
You're ashamed to like Seether now?
I am.
Oh.
I am.
I always thought you really liked them.
No, like I could go my whole life not listening to another Seether song. Like at the time, they were like really good. I've seen them live. What was always cool about them live is they always do like 1 or 2 Nirvana songs, and like I obviously too young to go see fucking Nirvana back in the heyday, which I heard they were always terrible live, so it doesn't fucking matter. But yeah, Seether is definitely one of those bands. Like I don't know why I like them. I'm just like, oh, you're so edgy. Like, oh. And I'm just like, God damn, as an adult, I can't stand it. Because I'm like, okay, I'm not this like fucking like emotional, like depressed, like grungy, like angry teen anymore. Angsty. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm not fucking angsty. So like, I can't really identify with Seether's music anymore. And like the fact that that's what they like, you know, hang their hat on to this day. And I'm like, dude, you're like 50. Like,
I mean, they're that old.
They're fucking old. I mean, he's probably like, I guarantee you, Sean, like, you could probably look it up. Sean Morgan, see how old he is.
All right, let's look it up.
He's got to be in his 40s.
I mean, that's not that
Gotta
old.
be. But it's old enough to where, like, you shouldn't be talking about, like, angsty teenage bullshit.
He is 41 years old.
Okay, he's younger than I gave him credit for. My bad. But still. Yeah, see, there's one of those
Another
bands.
honorable mentions. I've never liked this band, but after seeing what's his face from what's that guy
that helps,
frizzy hair guy who I thought was black, Rabia. Yeah, Rabia.
Okay,
him doing the sounds like of Nickelback. Like, I don't like Nickelback, but him doing like some riffs from their songs, and I was just like, oh, this doesn't sound bad.
So all my music friends know what the fuck we're talking about. But for those who don't know, there is a YouTuber guitarist by the name of Rabia Masad. Super nice guy, always nice. I've ran into him twice now at NAMM. Super cool dude. Tall motherfucker. Anyways,
he's not that tall. He's normal
taller
height.
than me.
He's of normal height.
Whatever. I'm not. I would consider myself of normal height, and if he's taller than me, then. Anyways, that's beside the point. So he has a series on YouTube, part of Andertons, which is a music distributor. They do a sounds like where they take a band and they try to buy music gear to sound like a band.
Yeah.
And they do song clip-its. And yeah, him doing Nickelback's really good because a lot of people like talk shit about butt rock. That's fine. You can
I've never heard that phrase.
That's what they call it. Yeah, it's called butt rock.
Like for your booty?
Yes, yeah, butt rock. They call it butt rock.
That's awesome.
Anyways, but no, like at the end of the day, it's because I forget the singer's name. They go into like really heavy gain amps. They play Mesa Boogies, which is for a lot of people that's like a metal amp to use. Real quick, and I'm glad you brought them back up. Anyways, check out, if you're into music, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you don't, check out Rabia Masad's band called Tosca. Tosca. They're really good. Instrumental. If you're a fan of like Incubus, but like you want something heavier, shout out. Checking them out. Anyways, Chevelle. Chevelle is an interesting one for me because I never gave a shit about Chevelle until I saw them live because I bought her. Was it Christmas or birthday tickets?
I think it was Christmas.
Yeah, I bought you birthday or Christmas tickets to Chevelle, and we saw them at the House of Blues in San Diego.
And it was probably one of the best shows.
Fucking amazing.
It was so good. And like one of my friends had previously told me that she had seen them live when they like just sucked. And I'm sure like, you know, people have bad shows sometimes. But I'm like, man, this is one of the best shows I had ever seen. Like so much energy. People were having fun. Like they sounded great.
They sounded amazing. And honestly, I left a fan of Chevelle that night. I didn't really care. I mean, I knew like The Red. And
like all the singles.
All the singles that went and played on fucking like K-Rock and shit. But no, like they really did convert me that night. I was like, holy shit.
They're a great band, and I'm sad. Like, I don't know why I was ever ashamed to like them. Like, I don't know why. Like, but I guess because of,
our scene.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't cool to like stuff like that or whatever. But like, it's like now people like, they're like, you like whatever you want to like, punk rock, like whatever you want to like. But it was so like black and white back then. There's like, you can only like this kind of punk or whatever. And it's just like, I don't know. Like, I think people, because we're all older and we're all adults now, it's not so like that. And everybody likes whatever they want to like.
To be fair, I know for a fact there are probably still fucking people we went to high school with who are still of the original mindset of
but I feel like all
who didn't grow up.
Whatever. It is okay to like what you want to like and don't let anybody talk shit to you. So, that's the note I want to leave on.
Fair enough. Anyways, that about does it. Tell us your favorite guilty pleasure band that you're not so guilty about liking these days. And down below in the comments. Be sure to subscribe, like us, click that little bell. That way you get updates on when we upload. Join us on the Facebook group. Like us on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, if you will. And, we appreciate everybody, who's watching us or listening to us for that matter. And this has been awesome. This is I'm really enjoying this. Anyways, we are the Renegades of Pop. Thank you so much. You guys have a good one. We'll see you next time.